Yes. Okay. Welcome everybody to today's Google Hangout session. It is Monday morning here, and it's the start of the final week of this Mooc. This is not the final Google Hangout, however. Coming Thursday, Daniela will organize the final session, and I think she has some very interesting guests, so make sure you tune in for that one. Today, I am joined by Lianne and by Herco, and we'll briefly reflect on the previous assignment and then take a look at this week's activities. So, Herco, maybe you want to start with your reflection?
Yes, from what I have seen until now, not all assignments have been sent in. But again, lots of groups have put in a lot of work. There are some really interesting examples. So whenever you have the time, look at the assignments that were sent in by other groups. What is interesting to see is that it is not easy to start building a course or a curriculum in PBL. And I noticed that there are lots of lists available, like 7 steps for designing PBL, or 13 tips for improving maintenance, or 10 challenges to solve. And these lists, they illustrate that there are no clear recipes. This is a design process, and that means that you have to take into account your context. So that could be the national framework that you have to deal with, or even more often, it's the discipline that tells you that certain things work better than in others. For instance, when you come to Maastricht and you look at the different faculties over here, you'll see that PBL is implemented slightly differently in every place. And sometimes PBL is transformed. For instance, in our science program, you see elements of research-based learning and project-based learning inserted in a PBL curriculum. So that kind of brings us to the next week, where you have to think about what would it take to implement PBL in our faculty or our school or our university. And then I noticed that the questions are about how to deal with resistance, or how flexible is PBL. Well, PBL is flexible. I mean, I teach PBL without tutors, for instance, in some years, which, well, shows you how flexible PBL is. But as long as you adhere to the basic principles, looking for active learning and collaboration in small groups, there are ways to, tweak the format so that it fits your local context and your local discipline. But even then, change management is important when you implement it. It is helpful if there is a clear vision of where you want to go. Otherwise, there'll be confusion. It is important that the teachers are trained and the students know what to expect when they start. Incentives for teachers are really important. Why would they start doing this? And of course, you need the infrastructure and the resources to start. But so paying attention to change management and coming up with some action plan that helps you make a start, that's something to keep in the back of your mind for the next week, when you think about what does it take to implement PBL here where I live. And when you do that, make sure you look at the answers that the other groups give, because they contain plenty of cues probably to help you get moving in the right direction. Okay, that's for me.
Okay, thank you, Echo. Interesting reflection. Lianne, maybe you can say a few words on the activities for this week and certification of the course.
Of course, thank you, Jimmy. So this week's post discussion is the only individual assignment that we have in this MOOC, apart from the evaluations. So up until now, you've been doing collaborative assignments with your team. And the pre-discussion of this week has also been a team assignment, so the brainstorm. But the post-discussion of this assignment, as Herkel already said, is really about about your situation. You can reflect on what you've taken away from this course, what have you learned, and how will you maybe apply this in your own setting, or how could you apply this in your own setting, or why could you not? You could discuss what your ideas are for innovative PBL or education in general, maybe. And then we would like to challenge you to be as creative as possible with handing in your assignment. So of course it's okay to hand in text, but you can also make a clip, a presentation, an animation, anything you like is great. So this really is an open assignment format, content and context-wise. So we are looking forward to your contributions. And with regards to that, also a little link maybe to the certificate of participation. I've already seen people asking questions about this on the discussion board. You receive your certificate, or you're eligible to receive a certificate when you've done or participated in all the team assignments, the individual assignment that I just mentioned, and the evaluation at the end, which will also show up in your to-do list. So you can find it there. If you've missed earlier assignments because you joined later or switched teams, please do let us know. Get in touch with Danielle so she can get in touch with Novoed, the platform hosters that we're using, so we can assign you the credits manually. Because otherwise we cannot see that you've completed the course. Yes, I think that's it with regards to the assignment for next week and well, this week and the certification. Jimmy, was there anything else that you would like me to address? Okay. Oh well, maybe shortly. Now I come to think of it. So after this week, this Mooc ends, but we'll leave it open for a few weeks longer so that you can still look through the materials and hand in assignments with your team or as an individual if you're a little later, and then we'll close the platform down. But we will let you know when we do that around the time that we will be closing it. So after this week, it's not gone. If you want to reread the materials, you can still do that. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Lianne. Because this is the final Hangout session for me, I would like to end with saying that this Mooc has been a very interesting experience for me. I think it is great to see that so many people across the globe are learning and working together. And it's really motivating for us and for me to present this learning opportunity on such a scale. And I'm happy to see some of you shared your positive experiences with us in this Mooc. And I would like to thank you all for participating. This concludes our session for today. Is there anything else you would like to say, Lianne or Herco? You would like to add something?
Yeah, maybe you reminded me of my own reflection. Because this was my last Hangout session as well. And I can say that I really liked seeing all the creative contributions that you did and all the different takes on PBL that we saw coming by. And I would also like to give a quick shout out to the team members of the Smart Solvers team, who did a really amazing amount of work and came up with very impressive results. And I think this, for me, being a tutor of that team, was really an example of that it is possible to do collaborative, constructive, and contextual learning online. And I think that was my main takeaway message from this Mooc. So I would like to say thank you as well.
Okay, great to hear. Well, to all of our viewers, I would like to wish you a very pleasant learning experience this coming week. And I hope you join the last final Hangout session on Thursday. So goodbye for now, and maybe till another time. Bye-bye.